All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really fascinating and kind of controversial playbook for high-stakes networking. It's called social arbitrage. We're going to look at how something as simple as a dinner out can actually be, well, a battlefield for power and influence.
So it all starts with this one really provocative idea. For the 1%, money isn't just a shield to protect you, it's a weapon. We're not talking about just paying your bills here. We're talking about using money to literally change the environment around you, to proactively shape your world and the relationships in it.
Okay, so here's what we're going to walk through. First, we'll get the mindset right. Then we'll look at how to spot the different kinds of players. And then, we'll get into the actual nitty-gritty tactics from this playbook. All right, let's dive in.
All right, first things first. We have to talk about the core mindset shift. To even begin to play this game, you have to get this one thing straight. The price of admission into these high-level circles, it's probably not what you think it is.
And this slide, this really breaks it down. You see, for pretty much everyone, the 99%, money is a shield. It's for protection, right? It keeps the bad stuff away. But for the 1%, it's a weapon. It's an offensive tool you use to influence outcomes, to build alliances, to project power.
And this is where it all comes to a head. That dinner table, it's not just for eating. It's a boardroom. It's an arena. And that little piece of paper, the bill, that's not just a bill. It's the main event. It's loaded with hidden information, with opportunity.
Okay, so let's get into the two kinds of people you'll find in this game, the taker and the maker. Because trust me, every interaction, especially when money hits the table, reveals who you're really dealing with.
So on one side, you've got the taker. Their whole game is about extracting value. They want to save that $60. But what they don't realize is they're signaling that $60 is a big deal to them. They're basically setting their own price, and it's low. Then you have the maker. The maker looks at that same $60 and sees something totally different. They see an investment.
And that investment is in this really interesting concept called social credit. This is the currency the maker is actually chasing. See, the maker isn't spending money. They're converting it. They're turning cash, which is just cash, into a super high-value asset. Influence, status, a strong relationship. And that stuff appreciates like crazy.
Okay, so we know the two mindsets, but how do you actually spot these people in the real world? Well, the playbook has this, let's just say, ruthlessly effective tool for telling them apart.
It's called the bill test. And honestly, it is so simple, it's brilliant. The waiter puts the check on the table, and you just watch. You don't move, you don't say a word, because in that one moment of silence, everything you need to know is about to be revealed.
And what you'll see is one of three characters emerge. First, there's the hesitator. They just kind of wait for someone else to make a move. Total follower. Not a partner. Then you've got the mathlete. Oh, you know this person, they pull out their phone, they want to split it down to the last penny. This person is small-minded. They will absolutely torpedo a big deal over some tiny detail later on. And then there's the fighter, the person who literally fights you for the check. That's your peer. That person gets the game.
So, get this. The big idea here isn't to just always grab the check. The goal is to create the bill fight. It's like the perfect filter. Think about it. It's a win-win. If you win the fight and pay, you've just established yourself as a leader. If they win the fight, well, you've just found a powerful peer, an ally. And either way, the hesitators and the mathletes just filtered themselves out of your life. Boom. But okay, what if you want to skip the fight? What if you want to elevate things to a whole other level? Well, that's where the ultimate power play comes in. It's called the host protocol, and it's designed for one thing, to establish absolute authority. So, the host protocol, it's basically a preemptive strike. It's so simple. Step 1, you get there, say 10 minutes early. You find the server and you discreetly give them your credit card. Step 2, you tell them under no circumstances are they to bring a bill to the table. And then, Step 3, at the end of the meal, when everyone else starts that awkward wallet dance, you just lean back and say, it's already taken care of. I mean, the psychological impact of this is just massive. You're not just some person paying a bill. You've engineered the entire experience. You've shown complete control. You've removed all that awkward transactional friction, and what happens? In their mind, you are now linked with ease, with abundance, with power. It's a total game changer. Okay, so for the last part of this, let's zoom out a bit. Because let's be real, this whole thing isn't just about who pays for a steak, right? It's a tactic, sure, but it points to a much, much bigger philosophy. I mean, you can apply this to everything you do. The question it forces you to ask is, what's your default mode? Are you always trying to get something? Get views, get credit, get the better deal? Or are you fighting every single day to provide overwhelming value to other people?
And this quote just nails it. Logic says, save the $100. Sovereignty says, invest the $100 in the relationship. You see the difference? Normal logic is all about subtraction, holding on to what you have. But sovereignty, real power, real control, is about multiplication. It's about playing a long game that almost nobody else is even aware of. And that, right there, is the final lesson. It's really a call to action. To build this abundance mindset, you have to treat it like a muscle. And the way you work it out is by always deliberately fighting to be the source of value, the person who makes things happen for other people. You're shifting your entire life from a game of subtraction to a game of multiplication.
And so this whole playbook really boils down to one last question for you. In everything you do, your career, your personal life, and yeah, even when that check hits the table, are you fighting to take or are you fighting to provide? Because your answer to that, well, that determines the kind of game you're actually playing.